I love that song. That's Ween's Light Me Up, and welcome to another edition of Manchsterdam. Big show planned for tonight. My name is Peter White, and I'm here with this guy once again.
Yeah, he almost didn't be on the show tonight.
Yeah, he was almost cut.
Yeah,
he
Peter.
was almost cut.
Yeah, with the lineup of guests tonight, Peter said I didn't have a chair to sit in.
I was joking, Moose.
I know you were.
I was.
I know you.
So listen, our first guest tonight, we're gonna get it right underway because our first guest tonight is Daisy from Puerto Vallarta. Did I say it right?
Yes, you
did.
Because
Moose has a hard time saying it.
I know, you had a difficult time saying it at the restaurant.
Well, listen to him. How do you say it?
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, was it him or you
that
had
him.
a difficult time?
Yeah.
It was
sure,
him?
Yeah, it was definitely him.
Okay.
Have you been on the Love Boat?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Well, the only reason is because Puerto Vallarta, that was a stop that the Love Boat made. Do you know what the Love Boat is? The Love Boat is a TV show that was in the 1980s. Okay? And it was Captain Steubing and his gang, and they were can't believe I'm saying this. And they would it was a TV show, and they were on the Pacific Princess, and they would always dock at Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, for vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
I have been to Mexico.
Really?
Actually, I was born there.
Puerto Vallarta, though?
No.
Were you around there, though? No. It's pretty much a resort, correct? Resort town.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah, it is. A lot of people do go there for vacation, but I don't really know for sure. I've never been there, you know?
Okay.
But
Where in Mexico did you grow up?
I was born
New
in...
Mexico. I'm just kidding.
No, I was born in Tepic, Nayarit.
Oh, okay.
It's Pacific Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I went to Mexico.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but back then it was called Old Mexico. For some, I guess there was.
It was never called Old Mexico.
I guess there was like a good.
It was never called Old Mexico.
I know. I was gonna say what? I know.
Doesn't even sound familiar, does it?
No, not at all. I mean.
Well, the point is that they claim that there was a good side of Mexico and a bad side of Mexico.
Oh.
Isn't that the same thing everywhere? You go though, there's a good part of the United States and a bad part of the United States.
Yeah, but I guess Mexico was kind of different back then.
Okay.
Sounds like Joel knows Mexico. When did you go to Mexico?
Oh, when I was in Arizona. We went to Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a good story for another time because I don't know this one and I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Did you just make it up?
No,
this
that's
actually
true.
happened?
Yeah. As
Oh,
a matter of fact, my parents are from the old school because everybody knows that I'm Jewish, and believe it or not, at Mexico, that they brought home 2 big paintings of rabbis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And in the old days, that they used to put them in one of those like those huge gold frames.
Yeah.
And you used to hang it right on your wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was it velvet?
Yeah, it was, as a matter of fact.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So the reason Daisy's here tonight, and I'm going to let you announce it. She works over at. Well, go ahead.
Puerto Vallarta on 2nd Street.
Okay, and what's the ad? What's the? Do you know the number address?
Oh my gosh, I know my. Oh wow, no.
I'm going to talk to people that for my generation is Puerto Vallarta is in the old parking lot where the Industry used to be, and the Industry was a big giant dance club back in the early 1990s.
Really?
Yeah, and it was big, and they had a sports bar, a dance club, and a little 70s retro room.
Huh.
Yeah, it was awesome. Bill Barry, do you remember the?
Yes.
Okay.
Bill
Barry
no
here
idea.
tonight in the house.
No idea.
I tell you, anything you want to know about Manchester, Peter White is he's a connoisseur. Is that the right one?
It's not the right word, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you tell him about you ask him any questions, and he'll.
Well, I grew up here, so
right.
That's what that area reminds me of. And Unwind is down there, and there's a lot of great stuff down there.
Elite.
Yeah.
The gym. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So Puerto Vallarta is celebrating 1 year.
1 year. 1 year. We've been there for a year, and we're successful. We're actually quoted maybe the best Mexican restaurant in
I'm
town.
hearing that now. That's what I've been
Are
hearing
you?
about
Yeah, we
that
were the
place.
union leader. We've been booming. It's been amazing.
And I met you Friday because John Hopwood took us out for lunch.
I know I took care of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Wasn't I the best?
It was good food. It really was.
Yeah, it was
really
awesome.
And
Even
the
though,
service.
even though
So-
John didn't have enough money, I had to split a meal with him.
Yeah, it's like tonight. You're going to pay his tab.
Oh boy! But
You're
no,
right, the service was
delicious
great.
food.
Thank you.
And the
Service was
owner,
great.
he was very pleasant. Is that him, the manager?
Who?
I met-
Carlos or Jorge?
Well, who do we meet?
I think it was Jorge.
I
'cause
think
went around the bar
Jorge's
and we
the
took
owner.
pictures and-
Jorge's the owner. Yeah, and then
Oh, okay.
Carlos, it was actually supposed to be here tonight, and I don't know where he is. He said he was gonna come. Jorge told me last minute he wasn't gonna show.
Well, you know what? That's fine. That's
So-
fine. So glad you could come and join us tonight because we do like to promote local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the only Puerto Vallarta? It's
Yeah.
truly a local business, correct?
It is. He's thinking about opening something else on Elm Street.
Okay.
He was saying, I don't know if I should say that, but it's supposed to, like, he
No,
was
no,
just
no,
he was
no.
talking
When,
about
hey, when it does
opening-
happen, if it does happen, feel free to come on here and because we love promoting local businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe sometime, maybe after the new year, we can promote once a week a different restaurant on the show. yeah, that'll be a good
Are you
thing.
guys gonna come? Are you guys gonna be there for
Sunday?
Sunday, yeah. We're gonna have raffle tickets. We're having mariachi. We're gonna be doing. We're gonna have clowns. So it's for all ages, you know. So we're gonna have, you know, beer outside.
So there's a
and-
big festival there on Sunday to
Right.
celebrate your
Yeah.
1-year anniversary.
Yep.
Over at Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge. So we're gonna be there all day, all of us.
And you've been
So-
there since the beginning? You remember the first day they opened?
No, I was not there since the beginning. I started in March.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, what do you mean by mariachi?
mariachi.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Mariachi band.
Mariachi, yeah.
Okay, oh. So a
Do you know what that is? Let's find out if he knows what it is. What do you think it is?
Isn't it like a 3 or 4 piece Mexican band with the hats and they play the guitar and the violin and they sing Mexican songs? You know how you see like on like
What's
on
your
TV?
favorite Mexican song?
Oh, I know.
Do you have one?
I don't have one.
I have a lot. I mean,
don't
I
know.
really, I love Spanish music and I love Mexican music. I grew
Right.
up listening to it.
Right.
I do. I have a lot of Mexican songs that I enjoy, and they play it all the time in Puerto Vallarta. You know, we have it there. Do you have any or no?
No, but I'm going to tell you something about Mexican music that I love. Okay, it especially at night. You know, you're in bed, you put the music on, just relaxes you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like you're in Mexico, you know, with the music.
Does it?
Oh, it does. Believe me, it does.
He's a big Ricky Martin fan.
Well,
Oh,
he's not
huge.
Mexican, so.
Yeah. I've been to his concerts. I got autographs. We took pictures together. Him and Ricky. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got
back
his
I
phone
in-
feel like you're
back
making
when-
stuff
phone
up.
number.
Back
I got his
when
phone
Ricky
number
was
in
in
my-
Menudo.
Okay.
I got his phone number in my phone.
I see. This is why I think that you make stuff up.
Yeah, he does make stuff up. He didn't meet Ricky Martin.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
All
So
right.
listen. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
You
no,
have
no,
something?
no, good.
You're going to hang out for the whole hour?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might as well hang out, and we'll give another shout out to Puerto Vallarta Sunday.
You say it so sexy too.
It's,
You're like, you like have.
It's Sunday, September 21st,
21st,
and that's on
and it-
Second Street.
Correct. And it's all day. We're going to be
All
open
day
from
long.
11 till 9, so it's going to be all day music.
a
We're
big-
going to have live music, a lady singing.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's going to be amazing and epic experience. So you guys should all come.
Any
Everyone.
belly dances?
That's great.
No, this
No,
isn't
belly,
like
no.
it's Mexican. You know, it's not like it.
I
it's
thought
not
all
like-
Mexicans do belly dancing.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Say-
I think you're thinking about something
You-
else. That's not. Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
mean Mexican? All Mexicans do belly
Like-
dancing. Hey, listen.
No.
Okay, listen. We have another guest on tonight, but you're welcome to sit here and you know
You
what?
want me
We're
to,
gonna
like-
give it. Yeah. Do that.
We're going to cut to a commercial?
Yeah. Do you have a commercial for anybody?
John, can we do a 2-minute, yeah, just to change seats, get the cameras and everything else going for the next guest? Okay, thanks, John. That's
Wow, John Eric O'Neill, the sexiest guy at Manchester Public Television.
Another day, another trick. Gotta sell that shit off quick. It's about supply and demand.
You said you were going to go on break. You guys
All right,
want
hey.
a break?
Oh, we're back, Peter White. Well, unannounced, and we're back.
I know. I said, hey, when we come back, come on us, John.
Oh, is that what you said? Wow.
Hilarious. Okay, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Daisy, great stuff. Our next guest is, it's a real pleasure to have. The resume is so high, so much. So I'm going to just say, Alderman in Ward 10, candidate for sheriff. Big event going on this week called the West Side Community Awareness Rally. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Barry.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Peter, for having me on, and it's a pleasure. And certainly want to discuss the event on Saturday. I think it's important. I think we've what it is. I'll go into it a little bit. Is like you said, the West Side Community Awareness Rally. And when we were, and I have to include John Avard. He's the Ward 10 school board member. Very good guy, very hard worker. We got together, and I actually thought this up a while ago about doing this back when I was campaigning last year when I was running for alderman. One of the big issues in Ward 10 and in the city of Manchester were the burglaries that were going on. They were, it was in that during that last summer where there was a big spike in burglaries, and big what people were talking about was the issues where a lot of people thought it might be schools, but it was actually crime in Manchester. So I had promised to people while I was campaigning that, especially being in law enforcement, that that I would fight for them, make sure that we worked with the police departments, the police department in Manchester, and the community, and have meetings. And we actually had a meeting in May, and we had it at Park Avani. About 30 people showed up, so I started putting my thinking cap on and said, what can we do to make this bigger and better? And sat down with John Avard, and he was talking to a few of the principals and on the west side. And again, the event we had in May was Ward 10. This
Right.
event is the whole west side, and actually anyone in the city
Yeah, that's what I was
can
going
be
to say.
more than happy to come by.
Anyone can go to this rally. You don't have to be in Ward
Right.
10 or just on the west side. It's a big event, is what you're saying. And even if you're from Ward 1, you can learn a lot of. There's going to be a lot of things going on. What's going on there? There's going to be the police mounted patrol will be there.
Yeah, we invited the Manchester Police Department, so we've got the mounted police unit. The community police unit is going to be there, Manchester Fire Department, Public Works, Environmental Services Department, Health Department, the Weed and Seed program that they have going, Office of Youth Services, Department of Public Works, Parks and Recreation has been a key to this because they're certainly helping out. It's going to be Saturday, September 20th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the West Little League Complex. And for people who are familiar, West Little League, it's on Harvell Street, which is right directly behind Dairy Queen on 2nd Street. So it's, again, we've got those groups. We also have groups, organizations that deal with children. You got the Southern New Hampshire Skating Club. They have a Learn to Skate program. The McIntyre Ski Area is going to be there. West Little League, West Pop Warner Football and Cheerleaders, and Kathy Vieira, who runs that program, she's the president. Her and Don Penard. Don Penard is the head of Parks and Recreation. They're going to start pushing to promote the old, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, you guys from Manchester, the Junior Deb softball they used to have it in Manchester.
Yeah.
Well, that went away. So
Okay.
they want to get that up and started again, which I think is a great idea. And people that know me, and I've lived in Manchester all my life, and the people that know me, a lot of people know me because I've been in law enforcement, but I have a passion to make sure that kids get out there. I mean, back in our days when and it was a lot safer then. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and my wife and we certainly keep a close eye on her. But I think the kids need to get out more. They need to start getting involved more.
I agree. It's not like when you were a kid, you're probably like me, is you go outside, you come home to eat, and then you
Right.
go outside for another 5 or 6 hours, you come home for dinner. And I also I have a young daughter. She's 17. I never could really let her just, hey, go out and it's different.
Yeah.
Times are different.
Yeah, and times have changed, and part of the program is we're going to focus on neighborhood watch groups. We're going to focus on crime prevention, and we're going to focus on child safety. Child safety is huge, just what we just were discussing. It's unfortunate that there are a lot of bad people out there, and a lot of you've got to keep your eye on your children. Child safety. It's not just during school season; it's throughout the whole year. It doesn't take long for you to turn around, and next thing you know, your child's gone. That's how quick it is. When I was with the sheriff's office, I was in 2006. There was a case that I worked on. There was 2 missing children out of Tennessee, and I ended up finding both of them. They were missing since 2003. I ended up finding both of them. Ironically, they were in Mexico. And the person that kidnapped them, he was from Mexico, and him and his girlfriend had taken the kids there. But before they took the kids, they actually murdered a 4-year-old boy. So the bad guy was wanted for the murder, and both of them, the guy and his girlfriend were wanted for the murder of the 4-year-old boy, and also the kidnapping of the other 2 kids. And I ended up finding both of the kids, brought them home safely. They got prosecuted. They're both in jail for the rest of their lives for the murder. Well, I got an award from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And while I was there, this is in 2007 because it was a year after.
Okay,
what
that's
I did.
fascinating.
Yeah, it was a lot of. I actually found him. It took me like 5 weeks to track him down, But when we went there, my daughter at that time was only 5 years old. So we walk in. It was a congressional breakfast. It was at the State House and everything. So we went there. They actually my daughter because they couldn't. They're not allowed in the actual when they're giving the presentations of it because they're pretty graphic.
Right.
So they took her in a separate room. But my wife and I, when we got there, we sat at a table, and sitting right next to me was Ed Smart. And if you remember Ed Smart,
I'm familiar,
from
yes.
Elizabeth Smart from Salt Lake City, Utah,
Yes.
who was kidnapped. Well, her dad was there, and also at the table were people that unfortunately didn't have the same endings that these kids. I ended up finding them, which is
That's
obviously
amazing.
a good result. But
That's one of the most. How long have you been in law enforcement?
this is my 30th year.
It sounds like you're very passionate about it.
Yeah, especially when it comes to kids and seniors. It's I was with the fugitive unit for the last 17 years. I was at the sheriff's office, and you become passionate. And when someone commits a crime against someone that's an elderly person or a child, you pretty much drop everything to go after them.
Okay, we got our first caller tonight. Hi, caller. You're first tonight out of Amsterdam. Go ahead, caller.
Gary, you there?
I'm here. Hey, Peter and Joel, this is Gary Hamer. I just want to call in and say that I live in Ward 10, and I just want to say what a great job Bill Barry is doing and how lucky we all are to have him for an alderman. He is just so responsive to constituent needs. He's always available, always there, and, we went through a period where we didn't have that, and, Bill's stepped up, and he's really in the tradition of some of the great aldermen we've had in Ward 10, like Bill Cashin and George Smith. And I just want to say this rally on Saturday, we're all looking forward to it, and it's really again a great opportunity for the West Side to come together and to really learn a lot of things and just really have an opportunity to take a lot of this information and with these groups that are going to be there and really use it and really, help our kids, help ourselves, and really help the families of the West Side. So it's really, it's really important for folks to attend this on Saturday.
Nice. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay. You guys have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Let me ask you this. You've been an alderman in Ward 10 for about a year now, almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first year been like?
It's been fun. I actually enjoy it. When I was running, a lot of my friends were saying, "Why are you doing that? Why do you want to be alderman?" It goes back to when I was growing up. I grew up. I've lived in Manchester my whole life. I'm 54, and back, we started off, and with my mother she took care of us. She had 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls. We were down in Elmwood Garden Project. That's where we started our lives, and we were down there for a few years. It started there where when I was 19 years old, and I'll get to that. But back when I was at the Elmwood Garden, we had guys like the 2 guys that I remember, and I'll always remember, is Dan Goonan and Mike Walsh from the Manchester Police Department would come down to the projects, and we had a community center, and they would come down, and they were coming down, sometime on duty, but most of the times they were doing it,
That's great.
volunteering their time. So when I graduated from college, one of the things, and I played sports in Manchester, baseball, basketball, football. One of the
Graduated
things,
from
Central.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah, we all have green blood except
77,
Joel.
probably
Yeah.
before you were born.
I got
You
red
grew up
blood.
you graduated when?
77.
Okay, I was 88.
Yeah.
06.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
We're hitting them all,
That's fine.
But it was I'm a true believer in remembering where you came from, and all the sports programs that I played in, hanging around the Boys and Girls Club, Salvation Army, Big Brothers Big Sisters. These are all organizations that helped up my family when I was growing up, and I
Right.
knew there's no way my mother could afford buying cleats and gloves and all
Right.
that.
That's
And
expensive.
when you get older, you start thinking back, and you start thinking about the coaches you had and the organizations that you were part of. And I made it a point, and I've still got a ways to go to make sure that I volunteered in every single one of those groups.
That's great.
To pay back what they did for me and my family and my brothers and sisters.
That's impressive. It really is. It really is. I think I'm at a loss for words because it sounds like you have a lot on your plate, and it sounds like you really care.
Yeah, I do. And it's, again, kids, and I started late. We had a daughter, in 2002, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I was 40 years old, 41 years old, and I said, you know what? Doesn't matter. She's got a good life, and we're making it. My
That's
wife
great.
and I work really, really hard with her, and we're proud of her. She does really well in school, and she's 7th grade at St. Joseph's, and
When you were when you were telling the story about the kids and finding those kids, and do you want? I know you probably don't have time to watch any TV, but do you ever watch Criminal Minds?
no.
It's one of the best crime, like when they're profilers,
Mm-hmm.
and something goes down in the city. These FBI profilers are there, and it's amazing. And I don't know how real it is because it's television, but you ever see that show?
Yeah, I love the show.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I'll tell you, one of, again, the last 17 years I was at the sheriff's office, excuse me, I was in a fugitive unit, and you do a lot of work, and this is where, even with the event on Saturday, I tie it in, communication, as far as the neighborhood watch goes, and we can get into that in a few minutes, but
Yeah.
communication is huge, and especially when you're in law enforcement, and especially where, the people that we were always looking for, they're fugitives, and they're gone. I mean, they've committed the crime, or at least have been charged with the crime, and then they skip. They either skip bail or.
But they're out there.
Yeah, they violated probation, or whatever, and they're out there. So now we got to track them down. So you do a lot of communications outside, and I'm not just saying outside Hillsborough County where I work, but outside the state of New Hampshire, and sometimes even outside the country. I mean, I worked on cases, the one we were just talking about in Mexico. Another one, there was a doctor out of Manchester that was in Belize, just to avoid paying his alimony to his wife and child support, so he took off to Belize. We tracked him down there. So you're always working with other organizations, and mostly federal
That
organizations.
just sounds
and
like
stuff.
so exciting.
I do have a degree in criminal justice.
Oh boy.
In law enforcement. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, but it's not a bad
Who have
thing.
you put behind bars, Moose?
Yeah, starting with Peter. But it's you know what though, Joel? Now you need a degree if you're going to go into law enforcement. Back when I started, it was you know what. Life is fate, and you just never know what. Back then, I was bartending, and my cousin, who was my godfather, asked me. He said, "Hey, do you want to? We got a job opening over at the sheriff's office as a dispatcher. Do you want to come over?" This is 1985. I said, "Sure." So it just took off. So from '85 to now, I retired from the sheriff's office in 2011, and had right around 26 years. And then a week after 2 weeks after I retired, I started working with Auburn Police and
Okay.
working there part-time.
Now, is there a big difference of being a sheriff and a police officer? What is the difference between the two agencies?
Jurisdiction is one of the biggest differences. You know, Manchester Police, they pretty much patrol Manchester. They have arrest powers in Manchester. State Police patrol the highways. They have arrest powers on the highways, and they do have arrest powers throughout the state. The sheriff's office have arrest, you know, they have arrest powers throughout the state. That's why a lot of times you'll see a lot of the drug guys, a lot of undercover guys that working for out of Manchester PD or Nashua, they actually get deputized by the sheriff's office because that will give them arrest powers, you know, throughout the state.
Well, speaking of the sheriff's department, now you're also, I don't know, you have so much on your plate already with being alderman here. You're running for sheriff of the Hillsborough County.
Right. Yeah. You know, back when I was working there, was I throughout my career there, I've always wanted. I said eventually I'd like to run for sheriff and be the sheriff of Hillsborough County. So a couple years ago, I put my hat in the ring and never involved with politics, never ran a campaign.
Right.
And you're talking about the two largest cities, Manchester and Nashua, in the same county. Then
Right.
you got, in addition to that, you have 29 towns.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
county.
a lot of work, and especially for someone that wasn't used to campaigning. I mean, running for alderman in Ward 10 is one thing because it's a congested area. It's a
Right.
pretty small area. It was easier not to win, believe me, but it was easier to walk it and to actually meet the people.
Yeah.
When you're running for sheriff of Hillsborough County, it's almost impossible to do that. It's a 2-year stint. You're in there, and after 1 year, you're already campaigning again.
I think most people don't even know actually the name of the person that's the sheriff now.
No, they don't.
It's like virtually non-existent. I mean, I don't know that. I'm just saying.
You're
I wish I
right.
could tell you because I think I know. I like to think I know a few things
Yeah.
about the city,
But
and I can't tell you that name.
You're 100% right, and I've said that even during my campaign. I would go to. I mean, you asked my wife, but every night of the week that summer that I ran, I was at an event every single day. I was going somewhere, and you can definitely easily get burnt out. But one of the first things I would ask if I was in front of an audience is some of them were small, some of them were like 4 people, other ones were 30, 40, 60, 100 people. One of the first things I would ask is, does anyone know who the sheriff is right now? They would never raise their hand. They don't know. People just don't know.
either.
And it's unfortunate because Hillsborough County, I'm a Democrat, but Hillsborough County has quite a few Republicans, especially the small towns. Manchester and Nashua, I did really well in. I should do better. Hopefully, I'll do better in Manchester and Nashua. But when you start hitting the small towns, it's difficult. And it's hard to reach them. It's hard to talk. If they knew, if they knew my background, I think it would help a lot more. And it's hard to get the word out.
There's not a lot of media out there.
There's not, and it's hard to, if you have a ton of money and you can start, getting literature out and mailing it out to these people, it certainly helps, But, another thing, and maybe, Peter, you may know, another person, and I'm really happy he's going to be there at the event on Saturday, is the Manchester Boys and Girls Club is going to be there. Dennis Stone. You remember Dennis?
Yes.
Yeah, Dennis Stone's
Over
gonna
at
be
the
there.
Boys Club.
One of the nicest guys, and it was funny because he
I
was at
always
the
liked
Boys
him
Club.
as a kid.
Yeah, good guy. Him and Kenny LaPointe and Brian
Boys Club
Tremblay.
was great.
Yeah, it was an awesome place to go.
Hi, Richard. You're next tonight on Amsterdam.
Taking too long.
Yo, what's up, man? You're on the air.
Yes, guess who this is, Peter and Joel?
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Danforth.
Oh, Danforth.
Yes, it's me, Richard. How are you?
We heard you were mad at us.
No, I'm not mad at you.
Oh, okay,
When
good.
you get an impression I'm mad at you.
I don't know. I hear things around town.
What?
Richard, we're just joking with you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I noticed your guest there is Alderman Barry, and I wanted to say hello to him.
Oh, okay.
How are you, Alderman Barry?
Good. How are you, Richard? Can't wait to see you at the next meeting in October.
I'm doing okay. Did I hear you say that you're running for sheriff?
Yes.
Well, you got my vote there, sir.
Well, I appreciate
As you know,
it.
I come to every Alderman meeting there, as you know, and what did you think of my last What'd you think of my last ideas I had?
I thought it was great.
I always think your ideas are great, and I appreciate you coming there because you know what? There are a lot of vacant buildings in
What do you
Manchester.
think about my telephone idea that you can actually see somebody that you're talking to? Wiggly. You know, on a telephone there or whatever. My telephone idea.
Hey, Richard, can you turn your TV down in the background because it's a little delay?
Turn my TV down? Sure.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
I'm going to be on it right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Wiggly. All right, am I a little bit better now?
Yeah, that's better.
What do you think of the lovely Daisy we have on tonight from Puerto Vallarta
A
restaurant?
little bit better now? Can you hear me all right now?
Wiggly.
We can hear you good.
That's like a commercial until the phone thing. But anyway, like I was saying, what do you think of my idea, Alderman Barry, about the telephone idea I have?
I think it's a great idea, and I think you should be contacting
All
Verizon.
along, you said it's already out there that you can see somebody.
It is. You can Skype.
On a telephone or whatever when you're talking to them.
Yes.
I don't.
I
do
have
it.
a handicap
Idea out
sticker.
there.
I don't use it, but other people do use it. It's I think it's called Skype, right?
Yes. Skype or FaceTime.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
It's called Skype or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think you have to be 14 and under to understand it.
Oh,
I'm only
see,
kidding. I'm
I
only
see.
kidding, Richard. My daughter's 12, and she knows all about that.
I
She knows
see.
everything. She knows a lot more than
You gotta be
I do with the
14 and
mechanics.
under?
I'm kidding. I'm joking. You don't have to be, but
Oh, you're just joking.
yeah, the people, but the
All
kids,
right.
the kids
All
know
right.
how to use all
But
that.
anyway, sir, when is your next Alderman meeting there?
It's
You
first.
you don't have them very. I know you don't have them very much in the summertime and that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. And I
Oct-
think since fall is around the corner, you would have more
Yeah,
meetings, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the first Tuesday in October.
First Tuesday in October.
Yeah.
You going to be
All
there,
right, well,
Richard?
you'll probably see me again because I have a movie theater idea. As I'm going to present to you guys.
John, can you put up Richard's
And I
picture?
heard the mayor is looking for for a movie theater.
Well, that would be nice because
So I hope you'll like the idea for my movie theater.
I remember all the movie theaters when we were growing up.
I know. We need another movie theater here in town, in the city,
Mm-hmm.
Richard, why don't you open up a movie theater?
Here's Richard.
Why, I open up a movie theater? No, I don't have the money to open up a movie theater.
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
anyway, I have a question now for Peter.
Oh.
Peter, sir, I heard you were going to do one of those ice bucket challenges.
Oh, I did.
You did it?
Yeah, I did it. I
Oh,
got called
would
out
like to
by
see that.
I got called out by Alderman Keith
I don't see
Hirschman.
my picture up there again. That's when I was on Elm Street, right?
Yes, with your Saved by the Bell T-shirt.
Oh, yes. I still have that T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, very
I still
cool.
have the Saved by the Bell T-shirt. Tonight I'm wearing my Celtics T-shirt.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's great.
I'm wearing my Celtics T-shirt.
Well,
'cause,
Richard, it's great to see you still
Celtics
out.
are going to be, playing around the corner there, and so is the Bruins. So hopefully, if I cross my fingers, maybe the Celtics will have a good season this year, I hope.
Richard, we can't.
No.
You're hogging up the phone lines. There's other people trying to call in. We love you. You can call in.
All right. When are we going to meet for breakfast there, by the way?
Well, are you
We're going to
paying?
meet for breakfast.
Are you paying?
Yeah, you can go up there. You can walk up there.
all right there, Richard. We'll talk to you next time. I don't think he's going to pay.
I don't think he's going to
I
pay.
don't
either.
Wiggly.
No, he can't.
Richard Danforth, everybody. That's great. You
I
like?
love
we
Richard-
talked
Richard
about
Danforth.
Richard because I asked you about him.
Yeah.
I said, and it's great when people get to
Yeah,
get up
no.
there and talk.
Yeah, it's good. He does, and you know what? He has some ideas. Some of them better than others. But you know what? He's giving it a shot, and he's coming up with these ideas. And you know what? One of these is going to work one of these days. This movie theater may be the one. You know.
Yeah, maybe at the old police station.
All right, you're next tonight on Amsterdam. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, good morning.
Just kidding. How you guys doing?
Good.
You know Gary?
Yes, sir. Gary from Florida.
Yeah.
You know Gary
Yeah.
Tibbetts?
I know Gary Tibbetts.
Are you
Former Manchester police officer,
Yeah.
retired.
is your brother with you tonight?
No, I haven't. He's. I'm trying to get him down here. I haven't heard from him yet, so I think he's busy up there in Orlando.
Well, he's been down there for almost 2 weeks, and you haven't seen him once?
Nah,
He's up there busy with his in-laws. up
Yeah,
there.
it's the in-laws trip.
Yeah.
Remember T told us
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but Don wanted to play some golf with you, Gary.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he'd get down.
I think he was going to try to get down here this coming weekend. So I think we'll get together this weekend coming.
So what do you think about Bill Barry being on?
Hey, that's what I call him for. I haven't seen Billy Barry for a long, long time. So
How you doing, Gary?
see him on your show.
You're lucky to be down in Florida, buddy. Although we've had a pretty good summer up here.
Yeah, you have. I hope your winter's not as bad as it was last year.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. You're better off down there.
Oh, he puts pictures up on
I
Facebook of
know.
these beautiful sunsets, and this is my backyard, and haha, you guys, and
Yeah, Gary
what
was
Gary
a
does.
great guy. Gary was a great guy. Did a
Can't
great
help it.
job with Manchester
I'm in
Police.
paradise down here, guys.
Have you run into Rick Gilman down there?
Yeah, I've run into Rick Gilman. Of course, he's north of Tampa, but we've been together. We had kind of a reunion one day in Tampa. We got together with about 5 other former Manchester PD people that all ended up in Tampa one night, and we had a ball.
I'm sure.
Nate
I'm sure
Turner, he's a Tampa cop now. He used to be Manchester, but he's in Tampa, so it was pretty good.
That's great.
So, Billy, what's it like being an alderman, man, after all these years? It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's time to give back, Gary. You know how it is.
no, he doesn't. He moved out of the city.
I
and
know,
went
I
to Florida.
But no, it's a good thing. It's I do get quite a few emails, quite a few phone calls, but you know what? The people on the other end of the phone and the emails, great people. They have great concerns, and it's good to have someone that's going to take care of their needs. You know.
Well, to be honest with you, Billy, I'm glad to see you in that position. You and I always were, for Manchester and tried to
Right.
do the best we could for Manchester. So I'm glad to see you in a position where you can, do for the people of Manchester.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary.
Gary, you're gonna have to
I
come
thought-
next time you're in town. You're gonna have to come on and tell us some old 1970s MPD stories, some good ones.
Oh my God! Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure when I'll get up there, but I'll tell you what. When I get up there, it's going to be an amazing thing to be able to be on your show, and we
Thank you.
certainly will get into some of those stories. I'm sure.
Oh, I'd love to. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I love watching your show every Wednesday. It just
a little-
shows
it's
me
a little-
what's going on in New Hampshire, in Manchester. It's great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a little piece of home for those people out there that live in Florida like you.
Yeah, no, it is. It's
Little
great.
piece of
I'm
home.
glad to see what you guys are doing.
Thank you. All right, Gary.
Thanks,
Okay,
Gary.
thanks,
for
Gary.
the call.
And
Former Manchester police officer Gary Tibbetts, brother of Don Tibbetts, and I wanted to say, if for those of you that tuned in and where's T? Where's T? He'll be back next week for our season premiere.
as a matter of fact, I spoke to T last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounded good, and he's all pumped to come back next week for the big show.
Yeah.
Next week. So,
I know he wanted to go to
we'll get
the
into- so we'll
Ward
get in-
10 Community Awareness Rally. I know that much.
So we'll get into that next 10 minutes about next week's show. A friend of mine gave me a question to ask Mr. Barry, and I wrote it down. Okay, let's. Hi, you're next on Manchsterdam. Okay, caller.
Thank you.
Good. You want Mr. Barry, Peter White, and the Moose Man.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I just wanted to call up a lifelong, my name's Tom, lifelong resident of the city of Manchester. And one of the reasons why it's such a great city is because of people like Billy Barry. And Billy, I just want to thank you for your services and everything you've done, and keep up the good work and keep it going, boy.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, caller.
Well,
Wow.
very.
Yeah, I think you're definitely making a difference over there in Ward 10. It's good stuff. Really, really good stuff. You grew up here, so as a kid, what did you do as a kid? You were over at Manchester Gardens. What did you guys do?
Yeah, we were. We had. It was fun. I mean, back then, it's funny because I've driven through where I used to live. I used to live on Trahan Street, and so I would drive. Now you drive through. And back when you're a kid, when you're sliding down the hills in the winter, with this one hill we had there, especially, it was behind one of the complexes, and we thought it was the biggest hill in the world.
Oh,
when you go by there now, it's almost like it's flat. You know what I'm saying? This is what you started out on. But it's just playing the baseball. Pick up baseball, pick up basketball, touch football. You get involved with all that stuff, and that's what's missing in the city. I mean, the West. West High School, and I know, we focus on, well, you know what, West High School did really well in sports when Bedford was there. Now Bedford's gone. But you know what? We got to close the door on that, and we got to move forward. But we need these feeder systems.
Have you ever heard about the famous football star at West High School, Keith Hirschman?
He was all state, I heard, Keith Hirschman.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to John Ryan, who's the president of West Little League, and we were discussing, about West, and it all comes down to the feeder system. It all comes down to the Pop Warner football leagues, the Little League baseball. But you know what? He was telling me, he goes, it used to be West and Southwest Little Leagues. Now it's down to just West on the West side. They have 3 of the 12-year-old age groups, 3 teams they're down to. Now this is back when I was growing up. We had, I think we had like 4 teams in a major. Well, back then it was just Little League. They didn't call it majors. And back then you had cuts. You weren't guaranteed to make a team. Sure. You had tryouts, and some kids just didn't make it. Now they have the T-ball, and you progress and you move up to the majors, but it's just people are losing interest. And I know part of it is they've got soccer leagues that go pretty much year round now, which I love soccer, and my daughter's involved with soccer now. But again, back when I was growing up, you played baseball during the summer, football in the fall, basketball right after. Sure, yeah. And you know what? It wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing because you know what? You don't get burnt out. I had a nephew who played hockey for the Flames back in the days, and he got burnt out. He didn't even play in high school, and he was really good.
It's too much, getting up early in the morning.
100 games in 1 year. 100 years. And he's 12 years old.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You can't do that to a kid, It's just way too much. But I think that, the kids and the parents, that you have to get involved, and hopefully with the organizations that were down there, I think I mentioned, Southern New Hampshire Skating Club's going to be there. They have a Learn to Skate program, which is an awesome program.
Yeah, that's cool.
They have actually professional skaters that have been with the program, been with that organization. This is their 50th year anniversary. So since 1964, they've been in business, and they're still teaching kids to skate. They're trying to get more kids out to the skate because it's not just the girls, it's not just figure skating, but it's also the boys. We need to get them there. We need them to start playing hockey, and that's a good starter. Or just figure skating. Skating and golf and tennis. I think sports like that, skiing, sports you can play for the rest of your life.
Right.
So go out there and do it
Golf,
and get involved.
especially.
Yeah,
I wish I played golf in high school, and I didn't because as a kid you're always like, oh, golf's just boring. And you know what? It's it's fascinating to me, the golf.
Yeah. Now, Joe
Do you
Kelly,
play golf?
Yeah. I didn't in high school, though.
No, Joe Kelly grew up in the same neighborhood as you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to protect him.
At the same time?
Yeah. We wouldn't do it now, but no, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Man.
So, in the same neighborhood, you're friends, and you get older. And so, how did you become a Democrat and Joe became a Republican? How did that happen?
Because
in the same neighborhood?
Out of the same neighborhood.
See, that's one thing I told Joe. I told him, you're really a Democrat. And he says, no, I'm a Republican. He goes, how do I become a Democrat? I said, you have to be nice to people. And
maybe this is Joe now. Hi, you're next in Amsterdam with Mr. Bill Barry, Peter White, and Joel Oberg. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, boys.
Mike
when
Doyle.
When I turned on the TV and I saw a young lady sitting there, a beautiful young lady, first thing I thought of was a rose between 3 thorns.
Yeah, and she took off on us.
Yeah, well,
nice.
Well, she might be talking to John O'Neill out there.
Oh, great.
Yeah, probably. John's probably trying to make his move.
Her friend Carlos.
Hey, I just wanted to moose quickly. The candles all lit in the house for the Jeter. Last 3 games coming up in about a week or so.
Just about. Yeah. Before we get into that, Mike, a young lady just returned. John, can you put the camera on Daisy so Doily can see this Daisy? This caller
rose
came up.
between
He was
what,
asked.
three
Yeah,
thorns?
see, that's the
That's
reason
right,
why
yeah.
he called, because he saw you on TV. There he is, Mike. There she is. There he is.
It's a she.
It's a she.
I'm not going there.
They're out of control.
Anyways, I just want to talk about Jeter, and I don't want to. It's getting late. I don't want to hold things up. Billy Barry, I just want to say, salt of Manchester, guy who's given his whole life, done all the right things, and done so much to help so many. Nothing but praise for the man. He's done a great job. And,
Awesome.
Thanks, Michael.
Hey, I heard you had a golden. After I left our trip to New York, I heard you had a golden horseshoe in your back pocket. Is that true?
Yes, I did. Pat O'Neill.
All right, I'll let you guys go.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay,
Mike,
thanks.
thanks.
That was my next question. What is it like dealing with the other aldermen?
It's good. They're all good guys, and they're all doing the right thing. They're passionate. Joe Callavasa, some people can say that he's, can be controversial, but you know what? Deep down, he's very, very passionate about the city. He wants the city to move forward, and he's going to do everything he can to accomplish that. And every single alderman that's there, you're not going to agree with everyone all the time, just like the mayor. You're not going to agree with the mayor. You're going to disagree on some things, but you know what? And you're going to be passionate. But at the end of the day, you can still remain friends and still talk to each other. The mayor, you've got to have respect. Here's another guy that's from Manchester, spent his whole life in Manchester.
That's what I say, too.
Another
a Manchester
another
kid.
Central guy.
He is. He's in the Central High School Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah. No.
I'm not either.
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm
Are
not.
you?
No.
You're not in the Central High School
No,
Hall
I
of
don't think
Fame.
so. Everything was long forgotten.
Oh, no, you
soon
might
as I
be
could-
someday if you do something great.
Oh, it's something great now.
Yeah, you can still.
Really?
Bill, you might make it too.
I may. That's my goal. No. I enjoyed Central. That was a good time in my life.
Hi, caller. You're next tonight on Amsterdam.
I want to just talk about Puerto Vallarta.
Oh,
Bring it on.
What's the question?
I don't have a question. I want to tell you about it.
Okay.
I've eaten there 3 times, and that place is amazing. And they have the best tamales I've ever had in my life. And I'm Italian, and I love that freaking place.
Wow, that's good. That's good. I heard the same thing.
Have you ever
I'm going
been
to have to say it's better than La Carrata, and I like La Carrata a lot.
Have you ever
You
seen?
don't get a lot of authentic Mexican around here. You get like Shorty's, that's Southwest. It's not real Mexican, like Puerto Vallarta. That's the real deal.
Yeah, we went
You're in
yesterday.
that place, and it doesn't even look like you're in America anymore.
Have you seen our guest tonight at the restaurant?
I think I have. I can't recall her because, now that I see her, next time I go there, I'll make a point of letting her know I'm there.
That's great. I'm glad you go there because you're
Are
gonna
you
go
coming?
Sunday.
Are you coming this Sunday?
Oh, he's coming this Sunday.
You know what? I just heard about it. Is it this Sunday or next
It's
Wednesday?
this Sunday. It's this Sunday. We're gonna have a lot of fun things, so you should definitely come.
I might make it
I will be there.
I'm going because
But
it's
I
free.
want to talk.
They're all
I
gonna
have a
be
question
there.
for your other guest too, who's running for sheriff.
Okay.
Shoot.
When I voted in the primaries, I'm a Republican, so
Right.
you might have answered my question because you said you were a Democrat, but Hardy was the only one for sheriff on my ballot. So is that the reason why, or?
Yes, it is. It's when you're my wife's a Republican, and she had to write me in. I hope, at least that's what she said. But if you're a Republican, they
In
or
November.
Democrat, you're the only ones on there are the ones that are running on that side of the ticket. Because when you walk in, they give, and I know in Ward 10 they actually give you a chip. Either way, I think it was like a blue one. or a red
Same
one.
here. I'm in
Yeah.
Ward 12.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in Ward 12. Peter and I are in Ward 12.
Yeah, we're also Ward 12ers.
I
I
ran
live
the
right down the road from T. My wife grew up in the same neighborhood.
Okay, great.
I ran for school
But,
board.
you know what?
caller.
I will write you in because I like what I'm hearing about you and everything. And I never realized running for sheriff, that involved, Republicans, Democrats.
Right.
I don't think it makes a difference.
No,
I like what you stand for, though.
It doesn't, because there was, when I was campaigning a couple years ago, a gentleman had asked me, and some people do. They say, you're a Democrat, Republican. I said, I'm a Democrat. He said, well, I'm a Republican, so and I said, well, I said, you know what? I said, let me at least give you a chance to hear who I am, and I had some brochures I was passing out, and I said, I can tell you one thing. I said, I've arrested about 1,500 fugitives in my career, and I said, I've never once asked if they were a Democrat or Republican. So
right on.
It doesn't matter when
Hey,
you're
well,
in law
you got my
enforcement.
vote,
It doesn't matter.
2 thumbs up for Puerto Vallarta.
Yay.
You guys have a good night.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, caller.
So we're going to wrap up the show. We got about 5 minutes to go. Let's remind people, West Side Community Awareness Rally. Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Correct.
Right behind on Harvell Street, right behind Dairy Queen on 2nd Street. And Dairy Queen has been in this city since I was a little kid.
Yep.
It's one of those things that it's always there.
I love Dairy Queen.
You do?
I'm going there Saturday after the event.
And Dairy Queen was actually very good to our event. They've actually donated a bunch of little coupons to give out to the kids for free ice cream.
People are going to go there
Coca-Cola was great, and Panera Bread out of Bedford is giving us lemonade and cookies.
Let me ask you this, just out of the blue. Have you been to the new place down there that took over Clam King?
I went there once for takeout.
Okay,
it was early on, and they were really not organized yet. But I'm hearing a lot of good things. I'm going to go back, but I want to go in
check that place out,
and actually
too.
sit in it, because I remember back when I was growing up, I know Clam King was huge. And Armin's Clams, remember that?
I was a little boy, but I remember my parents going there, and it was like a drive-in. It was like a Creamland type thing.
Yeah.
Like wow. Yeah. And also, do you remember Arcadian Pines out by the Massapequa traffic circle?
Yeah, and the other fish place in Manchester was on Manchester Street, Newton's.
Oh, see, that's maybe
Newton's.
that's.
It was probably in the 70s,
Wow.
Yep.
So, listen, I want to thank both of you tonight. Alderman from Ward 10, Bill Barry, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much.
We don't have too many aldermen come on this show.
Yeah.
We have had Patrick Arnold. Patrick Arnold and his family will see you on Saturday also.
Yep, that's great.
I know they're going down to your West Side Community Awareness Rally, and we'll be there also. Daisy,
Yes.
one more time.
Puerto
Sunday.
Vallarta, Sunday. 1 year anniversary. All day.
Mariachi.
11 till 9. All day. Mariachi, raffle tickets.
Located on 2nd Street.
2nd Street, where Unwind is.
Phone number to contact for directions.
Well, they have a website, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, you got a website?
We do. We do, and I actually,
It's probably.
I had somebody that was supposed to come on.
We'll post it
and,
up on our
you knew all
Facebook.
that
That's
stuff.
fine.
Yeah.
And again, before we wrap the show, I hope come November we can actually say there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. Thank you very much for having me on.
Because when we think of sheriff, we always think of the Old West for some reason, and you do.
Yep, yeah, you do.
Can you deputize me when you become sheriff? Just an honorable, little tin star.
They used to do that. They used to deputize, and now you can't do that anymore. You can't just deputize.
You can't just
someone.
make people.
You've got to go through a process. You got to go through a part-time.
What about just for fun?
Certified. But it used to be. I mean, back there was actually one sheriff, unfortunately for him, this just before I came on, that got into trouble because he was actually charging $100 for a badge towards his campaign, and he was actually deputizing people, giving him an actual badge, and then the money would go towards his campaign.
Wow!
And it wasn't a good thing.
Just recap of yesterday. Big shout out to the Pint on their first anniversary. Yesterday it was very successful.
We went to the Pint to say hi at 4:30. We didn't leave till 11.
It was the best.
It was fun though. There was a lot of people down there.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of people.
It was good. They
Great
had,
talking to people. That's what
they
I
had
love.
a little music. They had some raffle giveaways. Good job at the Pint last night. Happy anniversary to those guys. To a good friend Robbie Young at Maggie's. Panucci's, what's the one that always calls and says we don't get a plug on his show?
Oh, that's Peter Tells. That's Millie's.
And
Peter
Millie's.
Tells is a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
Great
He's been on the
guy.
show a couple times. Peter Tells might be on a cooking show for the best not margarita.
Bloody Mary?
Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I
I
heard
voted.
about that. Yep.
Yeah, we
I
sent
heard
it out there.
Puerto Vallarta gives the best margaritas.
We do.
And
I make them.
in the
I
sta-
do. I don't
in
know
the
about.
state of
I'm not gonna
Manchester.
speak for the other bartenders, but I know
Yeah.
that I make the best margaritas.
You make the best.
Yeah,
I do.
you make the best.
I do. I do. You'll come in there having a bad day, and then you'll leave very happy.
Very good.
Oh, happy endings. I like those. Okay, folks. So we're going to wrap this up next week, Peter White.
Next week we got our season premiere. Tibbetts will be back. We have, I guess I can announce it now. We have Todd Bouchard will be here. Patrick Arnold will be here. And Manchester videographer Paul Cormier will be here.
And the return of Don T. Tibbetts. On that note, we'll see you next time.
Good night.